Feasts meant for celebration, for unity, for indulgence. Some of the most infamous banquets in history ended in tragedy, leaving behind tales of mass death and chaos. Imagine sitting down to a grand meal, surrounded by laughter and clinking glasses, only for it to turn into a scene of horror. These aren't just stories of bad food or awkward moments. They're tales of betrayal, poison, and sheer disaster. Stick around, because we are diving into the dark side of history's most infamous feasts, where the last bite could be your last. Throughout history, banquets have been a symbol of celebration, diplomacy, and unity. However, some gatherings have turned into scenes of tragedy due to deliberate poisoning. These incidents, often driven by political motives, revenge, or power struggles, have left lasting marks on history. One of the most infamous examples is the poisoning of the Roman Emperor Claudius. According to historical accounts, his wife Agrippina the Younger conspired to kill him by serving him a dish of poisoned mushrooms. The exact details remain debated, but the event underscores the potential for banquets to become stages for deadly schemes. In more recent times, the use of poison in gatherings has taken on different forms. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union was notorious for using poisons in various political assassinations. One chilling example is the case of Georgy Markov, a Bulgarian dissident who was assassinated in London in 1978. Although not during a banquet, the method involved a poison pellet injected through an umbrella, showcasing the sophistication and ruthlessness of state-sponsored poisoning. Such incidents highlight the ongoing threat of deliberate contamination in social settings. The methods of poisoning have evolved with technology. Today, poisons can be odorless, tasteless, and undetectable, making them even more dangerous. For instance, ricin, a highly toxic substance derived from castor beans, can be easily concealed in food or drink. The 2018 poisoning of 2 Russian agents in the UK with a nerve agent called Novichok demonstrated the lethal potential of such substances. While not a banquet setting, the incident underscores the ease with which poisons can be deployed in public spaces, raising concerns about the safety of large gatherings. Preventing poison feasts requires vigilance and advanced security measures. Modern technology, such as chemical sensors and forensic analysis, plays a crucial role in detecting and preventing poisoning attempts. Additionally, increased awareness and training for security personnel can help identify potential threats. In high-risk settings, such as political summits or diplomatic dinners, extensive security protocols are often in place to ensure the safety of attendees. Despite these measures, the threat of deliberate contamination remains a sobering reminder of the darker side of human ingenuity. Banquets have long served as more than just feasts. They've been strategic platforms for political maneuvering. In the realm of power struggles, these gatherings can transform into stages for dramatic shifts in leadership. The intimate setting of a banquet, with its air of celebration and camaraderie, can lull targets into a false sense of security. This makes it an opportune moment for assassinations, as seen in various historical and contemporary contexts. One of the most infamous examples is the assassination of Julius Caesar. The Ides of March, a date that has echoed through history, mark the end of Caesar's life during a Senate meeting, which, while not a banquet, shared similar elements of trust and intimacy. The Roman Senate was a place of political discourse, much like a banquet where allies and adversaries gather. This event underscores how even formal meetings can turn deadly, much like a banquet setting. In more recent times, the assassination of Rafael Trujillo in the Dominican Republic provides a stark example. Trujillo, the country's dictator, was ambushed and killed on a roadside, but the planning and execution of his assassination involved elements of deception and surprise reminiscent of a banquet setting. The assassins exploited a moment of vulnerability, much like an assassin might at a banquet where the target is relaxed and off guard. The psychological aspect of using a banquet for assassination is crucial. It plays on the element of surprise and the trust inherent in such social settings. The target, surrounded by supposed allies and in a celebratory mood, is least expecting an attack. This psychological warfare is a key component of political assassinations, making banquets a potent tool for power removal. The setting itself becomes a weapon, turning a symbol of unity and celebration into a stage for betrayal and violence. In the realm of food safety, ignorance can be a deadly guest at the table. Accidental mass poisonings have occurred throughout history, often stemming from a lack of understanding about food handling, preparation, and storage. These tragedies underscore the importance of food safety knowledge, which, when absent, can turn a celebratory banquet into a catastrophic event. One of the most infamous examples is the use of toxic mushrooms. In many parts of the world, People have accidentally consumed wild mushrooms, mistaking poisonous varieties for edible ones. Without proper knowledge of mushroom identification, entire groups have fallen ill, and in some cases, died. This issue persists even today, as foraging for wild foods becomes more popular. Education on mushroom identification and safe foraging practices is crucial to prevent such incidents. Another common cause of accidental mass poisoning is improper food storage. Bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria can multiply rapidly in food left at room temperature. In large gatherings, food may be left out for extended periods, providing an ideal environment for these bacteria to grow. Without understanding the dangers of improper storage, organizers might not take necessary precautions. Simple steps, like keeping hot food hot and cold food cold, can significantly reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses. Cross-contamination is yet another factor that can lead to mass poisoning. This occurs when harmful bacteria or other contaminants are transferred from one surface or food to another. For instance, using the same cutting board for raw meat and ready-to-eat foods can spread bacteria. In a banquet setting, where many dishes are prepared and served, cross-contamination can easily occur if proper hygiene practices are not followed. Regular hand washing, separate cutting boards for different food types, and thorough cleaning of surfaces can help prevent such incidents. Moreover, the use of unsafe water can also lead to mass poisoning. In some regions, water sources may be contaminated with harmful substances or pathogens. Using this water for cooking, drinking, or washing fruits and vegetables can lead to widespread illness. Ensuring access to clean, safe water is a fundamental step in preventing foodborne diseases. In recent years, there has been a growing awareness of food allergies and intolerances. Accidentally serving food containing allergens can lead to severe reactions, including anaphylaxis, which can be fatal. Banquet organizers must be aware of common allergens, such as nuts, shellfish, and gluten, and take steps to prevent cross-contamination. Clear labeling of food items and providing allergen-free options can help ensure the safety of all guests. In conclusion, accidental mass poisoning at banquets often stems from a lack of food safety knowledge. By understanding the risks and taking necessary precautions, organizers can prevent such tragedies. Education on food handling, storage, and preparation is key to ensuring that banquets remain joyous occasions rather than scenes of catastrophe. One of the most chilling aspects of certain poisonings is the delay between consumption and the onset of symptoms. This delay can lead to a deadly confusion, as victims and those around them may not realize the severity of the situation until it's too late. The delay can range from minutes to hours, even days, depending on the toxin involved. During this time, victims may feel fine, even normal, which can lead to a false sense of security. Meanwhile, the poison is quietly wreaking havoc on their bodies. Take, for instance, the case of ricin, a highly potent toxin found in castor beans. If ingested, ricin can take up to 36 hours for symptoms to appear. Early signs might be as mild as nausea or vomiting, which could easily be dismissed as food poisoning. But as the toxin attacks the cells in the body, these symptoms escalate rapidly to severe dehydration, seizures, and ultimately, organ failure. By the time the true severity of the situation is realized, it's often too late for effective intervention. Similarly, certain types of mushroom poisoning can lead to delayed symptoms. For example, the deathcap mushroom contains amatoxins, which can take up to 12 hours to cause symptoms. Initially, victims might experience gastrointestinal distress, which again, could be mistaken for a common stomach bug. However, as the toxins begin to damage the liver and kidneys, symptoms escalate to jaundice, seizures, and coma. The delay in symptom onset can lead to a dangerous delay in seeking medical treatment, further complicating the prognosis. This delay in symptom onset is not just a problem for the victims. It can also lead to confusion and panic among those around them. Friends, family, or even medical professionals might struggle to understand the sudden severity of the situation. This can lead to critical delays in administering life-saving treatment. In some cases, it can even lead to further poisoning, as others might consume the same contaminated food, unaware of the danger. The delayed symptoms can turn a single poisoning into a wider public health crisis, with devastating consequences. In crowded spaces, panic can spread like wildfire, turning a festive gathering into a scene of chaos. The human body's fight-or-flight response is a powerful force. When people perceive a threat, adrenaline surges, and rational thought often takes a backseat. This is when the rapid breakdown of order can occur. In large gatherings, this can lead to devastating consequences. For instance, during a concert or a festival, if a fire breaks out or a rumor of danger spreads, people may rush towards exits. This sudden movement can cause stampedes. In such situations, individuals may be trampled, crushed, or suffocated. The sheer force of the crowd can be overwhelming, making it difficult for people to move or breathe. The collapse of order is not always due to a physical threat. Sometimes, it's the perception of danger that triggers panic. For example, at a nightclub, if someone shouts fire, even if there is no actual fire, the crowd might surge towards the exits. This collective behavior can lead to injuries and fatalities. The psychology behind this is fascinating. Humans are social creatures, and our behavior is often influenced by those around us. If one person panics, others are likely to follow suit. This herd mentality can exacerbate the situation, leading to a rapid breakdown of order. Preventing such incidents requires careful planning and management. Event organizers must ensure that venues have adequate exits and clear signage. Crowd control measures, such as barriers and stewards, can help manage the flow of people. Communication is key. Clear instructions and regular updates can prevent rumors from spreading and alleviate unnecessary panic. In cases where panic does occur, trained staff can guide people to safety and restore order. Technology can also play a role. Surveillance cameras and emergency alert systems can help monitor crowds and quickly respond to any incidents. Understanding the dynamics of panic and crowd behavior is crucial for ensuring safety at large gatherings. By studying past incidents and implementing best practices, event organizers can create environments that minimize the risk of panic and collapse. Education and training are essential. Both staff and attendees should be aware of emergency procedures and know how to react in stressful situations. Community involvement can also make a difference. Encouraging a culture of safety and responsibility can help prevent panic and ensure that everyone enjoys the event safely. When examining banquets that ended in mass death, the historical record often presents more questions than answers. One of the most significant challenges is the lack of comprehensive documentation from the time. Many banquets were private affairs, attended by a select group of individuals, and not always recorded in detail. Even when records exist, they might be biased, incomplete, or focused on the social aspects rather than the health or safety issues that led to tragedy. Uncertainty around true causes stems from several factors. For instance, medical knowledge was limited in past centuries, and the symptoms of poisoning or foodborne illness might have been misinterpreted. A banquet that ended in mass death might have been attributed to divine punishment, curses, or even witchcraft, rather than a more mundane cause like contaminated food or drink. This lack of understanding complicates efforts to pinpoint the exact cause of death. Another issue is the intentional destruction or loss of records. In some cases, powerful individuals might have had an interest in suppressing information about a disastrous banquet, perhaps to avoid scandal or legal repercussions. Over time, documents can also be lost due to wars, fires, or simple neglect. Without these records, historians are left to piece together fragmented evidence, leading to ongoing debates and speculation. Additionally, the language and terminology used in historical documents can be ambiguous. Words that describe symptoms or causes of death might have had different meanings than they do today. For example, a term like pestilence could refer to a wide range of illnesses, making it difficult to determine the specific cause of a mass death event. This linguistic barrier adds another layer of complexity to understanding the true causes behind these tragic banquets. Shared meals have long been a cornerstone of human culture, fostering bonds and community. Yet, when these gatherings turn tragic, the reverberations can be profound and lasting. The fear that emerges from such events can seep into the cultural psyche, altering the way people view communal dining. This mistrust doesn't fade quickly. It can persist for generations, shaping social norms and behaviors in subtle but significant ways. Consider the case of the Aokigahara forest in Japan, known for its tragic associations. While not a banquet, the forest's infamy has led to a shift in how some view communal activities in certain areas. The fear of the unknown and the dread of potential harm have made some people wary of group outings, even in unrelated contexts. This is a stark example of how a single, tragic event can cast a long shadow over communal activities. The ripple effects of such fear can be seen in the way people plan gatherings, the precautions they take, and the underlying anxiety that sometimes accompanies shared meals. In some cultures, the fear of poisoning or betrayal during meals has deep roots. These fears are not baseless. History is replete with instances of political assassinations and family feuds played out over a shared table. The long-term effects of these events can be seen in the way certain communities approach hospitality. For instance, in some regions, it's common to see hosts and guests bring their own food to a gathering, a practice rooted in deep-seated mistrust. This isn't just about personal safety, it's about the erosion of trust in the very fabric of community life. The impact of such fears isn't limited to the immediate aftermath of a tragic event. They can influence culinary traditions, social etiquette, and even the design of dining spaces. For example, in some cultures, the seating arrangement at a meal is meticulously planned to prevent any perceived hierarchy or favoritism. This isn't just about politeness, it's about addressing underlying fears of exclusion or, worse, harm. The long-term mistrust effects can also manifest in the way food is prepared and served. In some communities, it's common to see individuals bringing their own dishes to a communal meal, a practice that might seem odd to outsiders but makes perfect sense in the context of historical tragedies. Moreover, these fears can shape the way stories and warnings are passed down through generations. Folk tales and proverbs often carry the weight of these historical events, serving as cautionary tales. For instance, the phrase "don't bite the hand that feeds you" carries a warning that goes beyond mere gratitude. It's a reminder of the potential dangers lurking in shared meals. These stories and sayings become part of the cultural DNA, influencing behavior and attitudes long after the original event has faded from memory. They serve as a constant reminder of the need for vigilance, even in the most seemingly innocuous of settings. In the wake of devastating banquet-related incidents, societies have developed various rituals and practices to prevent such tragedies from recurring. One of the most notable is the tradition of food tasters. This practice, which dates back centuries, involves having a designated person sample the food before it is served to the main guests. The idea is simple: if the food is poisoned or otherwise unsafe, the taster will fall ill or die, thus preventing harm to the rest of the diners. While the use of tasters is often associated with historical monarchies and their fears of assassination, the principle has found its way into modern security protocols for high-profile events. Another ritual that emerged is the thorough inspection and testing of food and beverages before they are served. This can include laboratory testing for contaminants, as well as visual and olfactory inspections by trained professionals. The goal is to catch any potential issues before they reach the guests. This practice is now standard in many catering and event planning industries. It's not just about poisoning anymore. Foodborne illnesses can also cause mass casualties. So, ensuring food safety is a top priority. In some cultures, specific rituals are performed to honor the memory of those lost in past banquet-related tragedies. These rituals can serve as a reminder of the importance of safety and caution. For example, some communities hold annual memorial events where they recount the stories of those who were affected. This helps to keep the lessons of the past alive and ensures that future generations understand the importance of vigilance. It's a way to turn tragedy into a teaching moment, ensuring that history doesn't repeat itself. Moreover, the role of tasters has evolved over time. In ancient times, tasters were often slaves or low-ranking individuals, reflecting the societal hierarchies of the time. Today, the role is more professionalized. Food safety experts and sommeliers often take on the responsibility of ensuring that food and drinks are safe for consumption. This shift reflects a broader change in societal values, where the safety and well-being of all individuals are prioritized. It's a testament to how far we've come in terms of valuing human life and safety. As we wrap up our journey through history's most infamous banquets that ended in tragedy, let's recap the key points we've uncovered. We've seen how power, ambition, and sometimes just bad luck can turn a celebration into a catastrophe. From the ancient Roman feast that sparked a deadly fire, to the medieval banquet where a single dish caused a kingdom to mourn, these stories remind us of the fragility of life and the unpredictability of history. It's easy to look at these events and think, that could never happen today. But as we've seen, even in our modern world, disasters can strike when we least expect them. So, what can we take away from these tales? Perhaps it's a reminder to cherish the moments we have, to be grateful for the food on our tables, and to appreciate the company of those around us. If you've enjoyed exploring these historical mysteries with me, stay tuned for our next series. We'll be diving into the fascinating world of unsolved historical enigmas, from ancient artifacts to medieval mysteries. Until then, keep your curiosity piqued and your appetite for history whetted. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more intriguing stories from the past. And as always, thanks for watching.